Hello everyone, my name is Rog,
And my name is Oliver.
and today will be the intro episode of our podcast on the New York City subway system. I hope you all enjoy.
So to start off, we'll have some quick history about the New York City subway. So the first subway line opened on October 27, 1904, and was opened by the IRT, or the Interborough Rapid Transit Company. They eventually opened lines in all New York City boroughs except Staten Island. So New York City had a pretty extensive elevated railway system in the late 1800s, but a large blizzard in 1888 shut down many forms of surface transportation, which convinced people that transit should be moved underground. Also, another company, the Brooklyn-Manhattan Transit Corporation, or the BMT, absorbed another transit company in 1923 and operated various elevated and underground services between Brooklyn and Manhattan. Both the IRT and BMT were private companies, but in 1932, the city-owned Independent Rapid Transit Railroad, or the IND, opened its first subway line under 8th Avenue. Eventually, in 1940, the city-owned IND bought the IRT and the BMT, consolidating all three companies into the single system we know today. Each company had their own system for naming lines, often using a combination of numbers, letters, and colors. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, this nomenclature system was slowly standardized towards the system of single letters, numbers, and colors we have today. So when you look at a subway map, the first thing you might be wondering is, what do those letters, numbers, and colors mean? Well, so here's the current system in use today. So now, the A through G lines and the Rockaway Park Shuttle are approximately the former IND lines. The J through Z and the Franklin Avenue Shuttle are former BMT lines, and the number trains, 1 through 7, and the 42nd Street Shuttle are former IRT lines. Each subway line has a color of an icon and a number or letter. So the color of the icon indicates which avenue the line travels under while in Manhattan. For example, the green background of the 4, 5, and 6 trains indicates that they travel under Park and Lexington Avenue. The yellow background of the N, Q, R, and W trains indicates that they travel under Broadway, and the orange of the B, D, F, and M trains means that they travel under 6th Avenue. Additionally, gray is used for the different shuttle services across this system, namely the 42nd Street, Franklin Avenue, and Rockaway Park shuttles. Trains on the New York City subway can be express or local trains. Express trains skip a lot of stops along certain portions of their route, while local trains make all stops. Changing between express and local trains can be done at transfer stations, where you can change from an express to a local train or vice versa by walking across the platform. It is important to note that trains can run express for certain parts of their route, but local on others. For example, the 2 train runs local in the Bronx, but runs express along Broadway 7th Avenue in Manhattan. Additionally, some lines, namely the 6, 7, and F trains, have special rush hour express service, indicated by a diamond on the line's icon. This service usually runs express towards Manhattan in the mornings and express away from Manhattan in the evenings. Also, most late-night service on the subway is local service. For details on typical weekend and late-night service patterns, you can check out the top right corner of the subway map.
So now payment. Payment as of May 3rd, 2023 is around $2.75, no matter where you get on or where you exit the subway. Usually it's payable by MetroCard, which can be bought and refilled through various machines in the different subways. But these eventually will be phased out and replaced with the Omni system, which is a contactless fare system that you see in a lot of European or Japanese countries, I guess. You can pay with a contactless credit/debit card, Apple Pay, or a dedicated Omni card. Omni is also usable on local and express buses, and Omni also has a weekly fare cap starting on Monday. You can take 12 Omni trips with the same payment, and then the rest of your rides for that week are free until Sunday. The MetroCard is also still required for certain systems around the New York City area, including, for example, the PATH trains to New Jersey and the air train to the JFK airport. and there's one free transfer within 2 hours of paying the fare. So there's also various technology that you can use to monitor the subway system. I think the MTA app is paramount for your success in navigating the subway system. It tells you about different rerouted trains, if a train will be late, if a station will be skipped, if there's boarding changes, and basically any change to your travel plans. Google Maps is also a great way to find a sort of pathway to your two locations that you want to go to. You can also use the MTA website, which should have a map of all of the different subway systems, the different routes. And when you're on the train, I think it's very important to pay attention to announcements that you'll hear over the intercom, and also announcements that might be on the different billboards in the subway stations.
So in addition to the subway, there are a lot of other transit services in the New York City area that are convenient and cheap. So of course there's the express and local buses, also operated by the MTA, but there's also New York's NYC Ferry, which provides frequent ferry service between Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Rockaways, and even Governor's Island. The fare is $2.75, and the same as the subway ride, and the boats are very nice. There's outdoor seating available, and there's also a snack bar on board. These trips also provide very scenic views of the Manhattan and Brooklyn skylines, especially during sunrise and sunset. Additionally, there's the Staten Island Ferry, which offers free service between Whitehall Terminal in Lower Manhattan and St. George on Staten Island. It provides very scenic views of the Statue of Liberty, New York Harbor, and the Manhattan skyline. Last but not least, there's the Staten Island Railway, which runs between St. George, where you can connect to the Staten Island Ferry to Manhattan, and Tottenville on the south side of the island. It also has a $2.75 fare, like the rest of the subway system.
This is just a reminder. It may be very useful for you to have a subway map in front of you while you're listening to this episode, so you can follow along with each route as we explained. Thank you for listening. I hope this episode was insightful. Our next episode will dive into the attractions along the 8th Avenue lines, the AC and E trains. See you next time.